Hello everyone, in this video we're going to explore everything you need to know to achieve perfect marks for Remains by Armitage. The aim of this video is to ensure you have everything you need as quickly as possible without wasting your time. So here's the poem, which you should already have read 4, 5, 6 times. You should already have multiple notes on this already. We're now going to make sure that you have everything you need in order to achieve full marks in those exams. Basic meaning: well, the poem itself is written to highlight the issues of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, or shell shock if you're looking at a poem based on the First World War. The speaker describes shooting a looter dead in Iraq and how it has affected him, and this is done in order to show the reader that mental suffering can continue long after physical conflict is over. Context: these poems are of survivors, the damaged, exhausted men who return from war in body but never wholly in mind. There might be a quote that you would like to use within your essays. It's a great quote to highlight, obviously, when comparing with other poems. The poem coincided with an increased awareness of PTSD among the military and aroused sympathy among the public, many of whom were opposed to war. In terms of form, the title itself links to the theme of the poem. It has a certain ambiguity. Remains can suggest a physical remains, such as a dead body, which we see in the poem, or the nightmares which remain due to the action, or that the soldiers' brains have now been damaged, and this poem is an exploration of what remains within those brains. It's a monologue told in the present tense to convey a flashback, which is a symptom of PTSD. Using the former soldier as a speaker helps create a more conversational tone. It also helps create a level of sympathy or empathy or pathos, if you want to use some other terminology, which creates a dialogue between the reader and the speaker. The first 4 stanzas are set in Iraq, the last 3 at home, showing the aftermath of the effects. Structurally, the repetition of blood in the first stanza highlights what the speaker has taken most from his time in the army. The flashback nature of the opening highlights that the speaker cannot escape his previous actions. Possibly armed, possibly not, highlights the confusion of the speaker, which again relates to the notion of PTSD. Dug behind enemy lines suggests that the character can only use war-based semantic language in order to help him understand events in life, which shows he cannot escape the war itself. Finally, linguistically, Remains, the images of suffering, which we've already talked about in our title. Then he's carted off in the back of a lorry. Reduction of humanity to waste or cattle, which again is another symptom of being a soldier, this idea that you no longer see the perfect nature of life itself. He's here in my head when I close my eyes, the metaphor for war in his head. PTSD is entrenched. His bloody life in my bloody hands. It alludes to Macbeth. Macbeth, the warrior of PTSD, and Lady Macbeth's bloody hands and guilt is a slang for frustration. Blood shadow, whilst literally highlighting the stain left on the ground. The shadow, something which is dark and therefore negative, is something that follows you. Perhaps a shadow follows the speaker. Finally, ripped through his life. This extremely violent image highlights the violence and reality of war. Life obviously demonstrates the total ruination which occurs in the war. And that's it. So thank you very much. Make sure you add to your notes, and good luck with your revision.